up? This t-shirt. What's up? This T-Shirt Kings 247.com. I recently researched all the other internet sites that sell shirts like we do. And by far, we are the cheapest. With us, you order 20 shirts, you get 60% off. You order 50 shirts, you get 65% off. It's hard for me to properly articulate the deal you're getting because it's so damn. T-ShirtKings247.com, 937-603-4494. Whatever you need, we bring it right to your door. What's up with it, man? You guys are like locked in with us right now. We're doing a fantasy draft, so I'm on the clock right now. My brother is actually drafted. Not my brother Bone. We got Bone in the building, who is TA. Y'all hear it right there. You know what I'm saying? It's my time to draft. So go ahead, Bone, take over.
Now we need play by play. Who are you?
So
or what's going into your decision making?
With the 6th pick in the 2025 T-Shirt King 247.com draft, Ahava Elian selects Christian McCaffrey from the San Francisco 49ers in the PPR league, baby.
You're gonna be highly upset with that choice, but hey, you gotta
No,
that happens to the best of us.
No, Christian McCaffrey, if he's not injured, he's a workhorse. They give him the ball. He's included in every decision-making, free agents, and everything else. I actually won.
Do you know how you started that off?
If he's healthy. Who'd y'all pick? Who'd you pick, bro?
I picked Jamar Chase.
Oh, cuz you got Jamar Chase. Okay. What about you, Bone? Who'd you get?
I gotta go back to look in. I'm not for sure.
Oh shit, that's right. You got your auto
I'm
pick on.
auto.
I'll tell you who you picked. I'll tell you. Bro, you got Justin Jefferson with your first pick.
Oh my goodness.
And that's good. That's good. That's probably who
banger.
you wanted. That's probably who you wanted. Hold on.
So I had when I was picking, it looked like it was between Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, and I had to go with Chase since he playing for the Bengals. So
Fair.
You a Bengals fan?
Hold on. Remove.
No, but I will root for them though, especially when they got good players, and I think Jamar Chase is a really good receiver. I like watching him play.
Where is my pick at? Where do I pick again? Oh, I picked 22nd. My daughter. I wonder who my daughter picked.
Who is your first quarterback that you're gonna take off the board? All things work in your favor.
I mean, I would tell you. I honestly can't tell both of y'all because y'all draft after me. But I need to look and see who's available before I just start saying, you know.
So how do we know when we're drafting? Because this is my first time ever doing fantasy football, so I don't understand anything about it.
It's up at the top and it tells you. So cuz you actually picked number 26, and right now it's on the 16th pick. So you 8 picks away.
Okay.
And Bone, you picked 24th. So bro, you got 7 picks. And I'm up in 5 picks. I'm picking 22nd.
So right, that's what I was going to ask. How did it go about learning how the draft order and all that stuff go?
The draft order happens. So they pick a draft order randomly, and then they snake those first round positions. So, you know, if you draft first in the first round, you draft last in the second round, and so on and so forth.
All right, so I'm gonna ask the audience that's watching, since I'm new to fantasy football. Anybody out there who play fantasy a lot, if they can see what the board here, this and that, see if they can give me some help with who they think I should pick the next pick. No.
I mean, it looks like it's quarterback season coming up.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I would think that you would probably want to go and get you a good old quarterback. I do see a couple. Man, so I swear I hope that nobody pick my player, bro.
So where are the players at?
You can't see if he's available.
I see what's at the top, but how do you know which players are available to pick?
You know, I just had to go and get my boy Patty Mahomes. I wanted to get a quarterback that I was going to be confident in that would do the job for me.
So has Lamar already been taken?
No.
So how do you see what players are available?
If you scroll down,
You can scroll
you'll
down
be,
the side, can't you?
yeah. Yeah, Lamar Jackson is still available and your pick is next. So if nobody picks him, you're on the clock, get Lamar Jackson.
All right, I'm trying to see how do I get to Lamar Jackson.
He's the 29th player available.
Okay, I see.
Scroll down.
Got it.
Getting, clicking. You got okay. There you go.
Yeah.
You as a black advocate, I know he's so happy about that pick. So this will be fun for you.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm happy to
hold on.
get.
Bone, your pick is. Did you already pick? You picked your second player already, bro. Let me tell you who you got.
Is he
You
on
got
auto?
Devon A-Chain, Bone, with your second pick
For
in the
Miami.
draft. Mm-hmm.
Banger.
He's a dog. He's a real dog.
Yeah, I got mine on auto ring.
Okay.
I take a lot of the guesswork out of this thing, man. I'm lazy.
Yeah, he gets the next best player available, and I like that, man. You know, I definitely like that. I want to get my daughter get a chance. Let me scroll on her. Where's she at? I wonder did she get because she want Jalen Hurts so bad, bro. Hold on. Oh, she got him. Look at my little daughter, bro.
So my third pick is now, huh?
Yep, you pick it now.
I'm gonna go with the wide receiver from the Giants.
Is that Neighbors?
Garrett Wilson.
He's not from the Giants. He's with the Jets.
I mean the Jets. Yeah, my Jets. My bad.
Hey man, get this guy out of here, man. He don't know.
My bad.
Hey. You don't have a clue, man.
Hey, this is not what I do with fantasy. I believe in the real thing. I'm just waiting so we can make predictions on the games and talk about the actual game.
Exactly.
Oh, it's here this week. This week it's going.
Who tongue just get? Let me see. So now this is when we're in the thick of things now. Now we get into the thick of things, you guys.
Round out your roster.
Now, hold on. Was James Cook the running back that you was talking about, Bone?
From Buffalo?
Yeah. Or that ain't even him. Is that him?
Yeah. You trying to grab him up?
Nah, bro. I was, but I gotta go with. Remember Gator? Oh no, Gator! I got one more dance for you, mama. I got one more dance for you. I got Xavier Worthy from Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah.
So how many?
That's a gadget guy.
How many rounds is it?
Shit, I don't even know. It's
just look at your roster. You got to fill out your entire roster, so you got to get. I think it's four quarterbacks, isn't it? Or 4 wide receivers, something like that. You don't know how many. You don't know how many is on the roster.
It's 14 spots or 16. It's 16 rounds. Listen, bro, after we get our skill positions, I'm putting this shit on auto draft. We can get back to the Godcast. Everybody, hold on. We got some comments. Put it in the comments below. What's going on with the gang? What's up, Will? He said Remy go auto pick. Taco Brian Thomas Jr. is a great option. Okay.
How you go auto pick?
Auto pick is you got to go in the settings. Go in the settings and you can turn on auto pick. Now everybody want to do what I do. I'm a trendsetter, man. Golly.
I picks mines. Let me see.
I think I'm on auto pick now.
Man, who is taking so long to pick? Come on, bro. We gonna put you out of here.
Oh,
I got
bro,
you,
you
Will.
don't know who you gonna pick right out.
I went on auto pick, Will. So hopefully I have a running back coming here next.
So, hey, I'm telling you, right? It doesn't work like that now. It doesn't pick positional needs. It picks the next best player. So if you got a quarterback and the next best player is a quarterback, they're gonna draft to that next best player. But you probably gonna be all right. Amy should not be doing fantasy. Shiny Beezy in the Beezy.
You are absolutely correct about that, Shiny Mac. I know nothing about fantasy football.
Auto pick is whack. Thank you very much. I picks mines.
You just said you was going on auto pick. I'm about to disable it for my last.
Got time to deal with this peon. Big shit.
Hey man,
come on, bro. People taking way too long to pick their players.
All right. So while we doing this, let's talk about the college football week. What we saw over the weekend. What y'all take over on that matchup that took place up in Columbus? What was y'all take on that game?
Man, well,
defensive battle, man. The game was 14-7. Underwhelming performance for Arch Manning. He definitely didn't live up to the expectations that everybody had out for him. He looked like the moment was a little too big for him, but at the same time, I think you got to give a little bit of credit to Ohio State's defense. I think it's Matt Patricia, he's the defensive coordinator over there now. But all in all, I just think that it was a decent game. I don't think that it necessarily lived up to all the hoopla surrounding it, but a lot of people don't like to with a 14-7 game. But I think it was. I mean, if you're an Ohio State fan, you're extremely happy. I think there's still some questions at the quarterback position, but I think they still gonna go into every game this year. They got the best player on offense and the best player on defense with Caleb Downs and Jeremiah Smith. So I think that's for Ohio State that bodes well, and they got out with a win. So they're more than likely they're gonna be number one next week. So it's a win for them.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that good of a game. I definitely was not really impressed off of either one of the quarterbacks. I actually, when watching the games over the weekend, I actually thought Florida State quarterback looked the best to me out of the quarterbacks I've seen against Alabama. So I definitely was not impressed off of that, but you did see some good skill players in that game against Ohio State. You saw definitely some receivers. Also, they had some drops in there, but also seen some really good catches in the game. And so, but yeah, I did not think that game lived up to the hype of what they set out for it to be at all.
I think although it didn't live up to the go ahead, bro.
If you can go ahead, you can finish your thought. Go ahead, Bone.
I was just gonna add to that. I mean, I think what gets lost in that though is Ohio State's defense looked dang on good though. They through 3 quarters was dang near pitching a shutout. But on the flip side, Texas got down in the red zone twice and came back with no points. So it's just a matter of which side of the fence you stand on that as to what you're going to say was good and what you're going to say was bad about their performance respectively. But I think that Ohio State's defense is going to be consistent. It's just a matter of whether or not, because I think they still have some wrinkles that they didn't show in that game. But all in all, they were solid, and they made plays when they needed to in a big time.
They got dogs on that defensive side, so yeah, I expect their defense to look like that week in and week out. To be honest, and actually think that with that being game one, that there's going to be improvement with the defense. But Ohio State defense was definitely impressive. You know, Texas defense wasn't bad either at all.
Man, you know what I think, man? I think that Arch Manning
I knew it was coming.
looked. Listen, bro. His mechanics throwing the ball, it's like, is he a sidearm pitcher? What's this? Throwing it like this? I couldn't understand it. I mean, let's go to the first play of the game. The first play, his first pass was a terrible pass into the dirt. And I'm like, well, that's just the first play of the game. I'm sure he won't do that the whole game. But lo and behold, the whole game, he threw passes in the dirt. It wasn't good. And he's trash as far as I'm concerned until he plays again and plays better. But if I don't never see another game from him, I just think that he's all hype. Terrible. He did terrible, man. And a football game is a long game in order for you to get out there and change opinions of you. You know, like when I looked at him, I just drafted Isaiah Pacheco.
The thing,
but hold on, I'll wrap mine up. But bro, he was throwing some terrible passes out there, and the nerve for the Cleveland Browns to act like they would tank this whole season just to draft Arch Manning. And what I've heard is Kevin Stefanski and the Browns coaching staff all went to Ohio State to watch that kid, to act like they would draft him. And no, he wasn't good at all. Like, he was trash. Now, if he comes back and plays better next time, then I'll give a different evaluation. But so far, sidewinding passes that look terrible was hell.
Well, the thing I'm gonna say is I definitely thought he played bad and was not worth the hype of what I heard. But the thing also to what you're saying, if the next game he plays good, well, if we go off of what Bone has told us in the if we go off of what Bone has told us in the previous weeks, based off of competition,
right.
we can't even take that as saying that it's anything good, because over the next 3 weeks they play San Jose State, UTEP, and Sam Houston. So if the Big 12 competition isn't a good competition to give accolades or say a quarterback could be anything, we definitely cannot judge Arch off of the next 3 games.
Unless he plays bad. If he plays bad against these inferior teams, now it's over. And honestly, hold on, let me get back in here. Let me say this. Look, Bone, you told us that this kid didn't play because the Mannings didn't want him to play. And now we see why. It's not because he was too good. It was because he was too bad to be embarrassed in the family name. He's not even a Manning. He's not. They're calling for DNA tests and all type of stuff to make sure that he is indeed a Manning. Because, bruh, no Manning throws it sidearm like that. What is that? And the touchdown that he had should have been called back. And he threw another interception that should have been called an intro. So, no, he's not better than Sheduer. Let's get to the real. Is he better than Sheduer?
This is my question. This is my question. How is this turning into a comparison between Arch Manning and Sheduer? I told you I'm no longer. I'm not.
That's
talking
our
about
whole
Sheduer
show.
No more.
That's our whole show. I'm tired of the foreplay. Let's get straight to the show.
I wasn't giving a comparison of the two quarterbacks. I was just going based off of what you had told us in previous weeks, off of competition of the Big 12. And I'm just saying that based on what Cuz was saying, that if Arch plays better in the next game, well, the next 3 games we can't count those. Because I wouldn't expect you to, because if the next 3 games are who you say, those teams are subpar in terms of talent that'll be on the field. But he'll definitely get opportunities
if you're talking about a comparison with who Sheduer played against, the SEC, which is what I said last week, the competition that he'll see on a week in, week out basis is significantly better. It's not even a question, it's a fact. You just see better talent in that league than what Sheduer sees.
So how many league games? How many league games do they have? Because the next 3 games we just talked about what that is, and then in their league they also play Vanderbilt, who's not really a great team. Ole Miss. So which teams are we banking on, and how many games are we giving him that he's going to play against all this top talent?
Well, I mean, majority of your games are going to be within your conference, and I mean, you just think about those teams, whether it's a Alabama, whether it's a Georgia, whether it's a Florida. You are going to have some terrible teams in your conference, as you do in all conferences, but collectively, the conference that Colorado is in is not even on the level of a conference like a Big Ten or an SEC. That's just, I mean, it's just no question about that. And as far as like I don't know what their schedule is, their upcoming games, but when they get into SEC games, South Carolina, all those teams are significantly better than what you see out there in the conference that Colorado is in. And when you think about it, just look at Colorado. They, not to sort of squat on them, but they just lost to Georgia Tech. And they're not really talent-wise, they're not on that level right now. So, and when you're making that that's why I don't like to have that comparison thing, because Sheduer, in his entire college career, I would argue he never saw a defense quite like the one he saw against Ohio State, let alone making his first real significant start against them. Although Arch did have 2 starts last year, this is his first time, being the man and not starting because of injury. But Sheduer never saw a defense like that.
So it just grading Arch Manning, grading him. What grade would you give him, Bone? What grade would you?
I would give him a D. I mean, he threw a touchdown and he threw a pick, but I think his performance wasn't that good. He threw like 56% completions, and I mean, for the first 3 quarters, he was bad. He was bad. But in the 4th quarter, he played a lot better and he started throwing the ball downfield. But I don't think that he, by no means, was that a good performance though. And they lost. They only put up 7 points. That's not a good look.
I will say this. For me, as somebody who does acknowledge stardom when I see it, I will say that he does have a particular interest in him that is viral. And if he can put together some good games, I can see him like turning it on and being charged up and do well. The only reason why I'm giving him a problem is just to kind of like push back on all of the negative scrutiny against Bronny and against Sheduer, just because they are superstar athlete kids, and I've put Manning in that same category. But all in all, though, I do like Peyton Manning just because he did play with Andy, and he played with Peerless, and we got a close connection from that. You know what I'm saying? Those are my bros, man. And so I want to see that kid do well just from that, just because we a person away from knowing each other. So I hope Arch just bounces back just to shut up anybody that's hating, because I love an underdog. And now I do find
you're
myself.
Arch Manning fan? Man, get out of here, son.
I mean, but listen, I didn't join the bandwagon because he did good. I want him to do well because people want to see him fail, and I don't want that. I want to see him bump up now. I want him to stop hating on like Sheduer and them too. Like there is a little racial element in there as well, but I just want to see him ball out. If he has a good game, it'll be fun to watch like crazy.
Who do you think wants to see him fail? Because I don't think that's really accurate of what you get from
him to fail by proxy, by default. Because just to say like, man, like, nah.
I think
like
there was a
nobody
lot
wants
of
to see
people
him
that was
fail,
happy to
but
say,
it's just
but
like
he didn't measure
y'all
up.
hate on us so much because they trying to pit him against Sheduer. The media is, and I'm with it.
No,
I'm
that's
listening.
you. You trying to do
I'm
that.
involved in the media. Yes, I am, but it's not just me. I'm reacting to the pitting.
So
I don't understand how they can be pitted against one another, and one is in the NFL and the other is still in college. They can't.
right.
There's not no competition.
They were saying Cleveland was going to pick up Arch Manning in next year's draft.
But the thing is, if they pick up Arch Manning in next year's draft, the likelihood would be that Cleveland didn't play well this year and they have a top pick. And if they're taking Arch Manning, it's because the team didn't perform well, and that would mean Sheduer didn't perform well if he got to play. And if he didn't get to play, they evidently don't believe in him as a franchise level quarterback, and they're bringing in Arch to be that. So it's not a competition between them two, and there's no real comparison between the two.
I want to piggyback going back to what we was talking about with the conference stuff though. When because last week Bone made the comment that the Big 12 has not sniffed the playoffs since they went to the playoff system. And remember you said that?
I said
no
except
team,
for Arizona State. Arizona State got in. That was it. They don't really have
no.
things going in.
So, but didn't TCU get in and beat Michigan in the semifinals?
They did. They did.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying that conference isn't as bad as what you're making it out to be. They lost big to Ohio State, but they beat Michigan in the semifinals. So
they did beat Michigan, and that was you can't say anything about that. They won. But everybody viewed that as an upset, and everybody thought that Michigan should have won that game. That team showed up and had upsets happen, and they got in. They won the game. You can't say anything about that. But everyone knows, and you saw the next week. The next week they got mollywopped.
They did, but my point is, you can say that Ohio State maybe have, like last year they put 14 NFL players into the draft.
Right.
Can't say anything about that. But Colorado put how many in? 4, 5, something like that. Then you got other teams in that conference. Once you're playing Division I ball, you're pretty much facing a next level player. Every team has at least 1 to 2 next level players. There's going to be pro players, some players that
I don't argue that. That's true.
That's almost good enough to be that pro player. So I don't think it's a thing of talking about the competition being that far off, especially when you're talking about another Power 5 conference.
But and that's that's an opinion. I fall on the other side of that coin. I think when you talk about the teams collectively in those conferences, like specifically the Big Ten and the SEC, you are talking about a different level of talent. I mean, it's just shown. Look at the draft. Draft.
Hey, bro, my daughter just texted me and said, "No one took Russell Wilson."
Man, I don't think no one will.
Wilson was sweet though. At Wisconsin, he was crazy. Came into the league, took that boy's position.
He's been very good.
But I do believe what you said though, Reem. I do believe if you're a D1 athlete, you are in a small minority when it comes to talent level. But when you talk about when I'm talking about football, the SEC and the Big Ten, those are the best of the best. And it shows when they have to play against other conferences. I mean, you will have some outliers like a TCU beating a Michigan, but time over time, when those teams play against those top level Big Ten, SEC teams, there's a difference because you don't just have one of those elite talents. You have 5 of them. You got them all over the field.
I get that. I get what you're saying on that. But also what it makes it seem like you're saying when you're dealing with like the Big 12 or Sheduer played against that, like he's not playing against competition that has him pro ready. When the truth of the matter is there's pros all throughout Division I football that you're going to be ready, and you'll be pro ready regardless of if you played against Michigan every night. There's quarterbacks that's played in the Big Ten and the SEC that were starting quarterbacks that weren't good NFL quarterbacks. And they play, and you say they played against the better competition. I just feel that once you start to playing at that Division I level and you start to playing against them, you're getting prepared because you're playing against top. So there are some conferences and some teams that, and the SEC and the Big Ten is top heavy anyway. It's only a certain amount of teams that are really up there like that. Now the rest of them are, they still very good, but the as you go through the middle to the bottom, they're not no better than the other Big 12 conference. You got West Virginia in the Big 12. You got TCU. You have some very quality Cincinnati, very quality teams in there with with quality professional level players.
I agree, but only to a certain extent with that. I just think that when you look at those conferences and even the mid-level teams, say, just for the sake of the argument, Michigan State or who's another mid-level team out of the Big Ten? You can't say Penn State now, but the mid-level teams, Iowa, Michigan State, those guys, if you send them out for the most part to play against, or even like the Nebraskas of the world, when they play against the majority of the teams in a Big 12 conference, and I'm not at this point, I don't even know all of the teams that are in that conference now. Like TCU, they weren't in there just till last year or the year before last. But majority of those teams really can't compete consistently in a conference like the Big Ten or the SEC. They just don't have the bodies to deal with those type of teams. I mean, it's a different type of grind in those conferences, and that's why the SEC always their motto is it just means more, because you got those teams that Big Ten and SEC football, especially now, when you after these most recent expansions, man, you got the biggest teams around in both of those conferences. You go from all the way out to the West Coast to the Midwest with the Big Ten, UCLA, USC, Ohio State, Michigan. Those teams,
UCLA lost this weekend to a Big 12 team. Utah beat them.
Look at what Will just put up. It's just a fact. Those two conferences, it's just a difference. The level of talent that's in those, and that's not to mention every year, those are people who cannot. Yes, they still got people that didn't get drafted on those teams, on those rosters. Just like Jeremiah Smith, he probably. They got NFL talent that don't get drafted that's still on those teams.
No, I don't agree with that. If you're NFL talent, you're gonna be in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't.
No. I'm saying like in the NFL. No, listen to me, Ren. Like Jeremiah Smith, he just can't go to the NFL because he was a freshman. But everybody that talent evaluators, they're saying that he should have been in the NFL last year. But Caleb Downs, both of those players at Ohio State, they said they would grade out and go to the league right now, but they just can't. So you know what I mean? They got players that can play in the league, but they go.
I don't know if they really ready for that. Anyway, that football is a different animal when you talk about freshmen and stuff trying to jump up and leaving college to go play against grown men. That's a different ball game. The physicality and stuff like that is something that's completely different. That I don't think that should happen anyway. That you at least, I don't know if you need to have to do 3 years, but at least 2 years in college before trying to make that jump into the NFL. But
Can Lamar Jackson get it done this year? Can Lamar Jackson win a Super Bowl, bro?
Yes. What kind of question is that? I think he got it done last year.
It's a fair question. He knows it's a fair question. I think that listen, I want him to win. I feel like Lamar Jackson has the whole pressure of Black America on his back to win the championship, man. And he's good enough to do it. He's great enough to do it, man.
Why do you feel that way?
Yeah, why do we have to carry the pressure of Black America to win?
I don't know. But it's a part of the game. It's a part of it. I don't know why, but it is. And
I think that's unfair to put that type of pressure.
Despite Jalen Hurts winning the Super Bowl last year against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, two Black quarterbacks that was in the Super Bowl. I think that's unfair to put. I would love to see Lamar win a championship, but I don't think that's fair.
Why? What's the main reason?
Because I like Lamar. I've liked watching him play since he was at Louisville, and I thought he was a good player. He was dynamic and exciting to watch. So that's why I would like to see him win a championship. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel that it should be any pressure on him, and I don't think that if he doesn't win a championship, that takes away from his career either. I don't think it takes away from his career.
It's momentum that to push him. Look, bro. For somebody like Lamar Jackson, man, he is a star, bro. He has to get it done. He is a champion, bro. He's a champion, bro. He's a champion to say, yeah. He is, man. But go win it, win because of you. And I want to see him do that, bro. I'm in no way doubting that he can. I don't want to say that, I'm just asking, is he gonna get it done this year? Does he have enough around him? Let me ask that. That's a better question. Does Lamar Jackson have enough around him to win a Super Bowl this year? Put it in the chat. What do you think? What's Lamar Jackson's biggest weapon right now?
Lamar Jackson is his biggest.
It's his biggest weapon. Yes, I agree with that. Lamar is dynamic.
Is difference maker.
And
if you had to pick somebody on the offensive side of the ball, I would say Derrick Henry. Even though he's getting older, but I think Derrick Henry is the biggest.
Derrick Henry was a dog this year, man. Derrick Henry showed that he wasn't old or nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like running back a little older. He was the best he's ever been. So Derrick Henry, he's a weapon.
Yeah, Derrick Henry looked good this past season. You know what I'm saying? I think he was they gave up on him too soon in his old spot. He still got some gas up left in that tank, and he looked good. And I'm hoping that he can be the difference maker to help get Lamar over this year. But also, did they acquire any new receivers, anything to help on the outside for him? Because he's been needing a big play receiver.
That's what I'm saying. Does he have Zay Flowers?
He's fast. He's definitely fast.
I like Zay. I'll get him. I've tried to get him here in the fantasy draft, but I
knew you was gonna say that.
I did. I got him on my other. I'm on another league. I got him on there, but I like Zay. I think he's sweet, but I don't know. I think Zay is enough, but like you need some help with Zay. Zay is sweet. Like he is a big dog to me.
There was something else I was looking at this weekend to see if y'all saw. Did y'all see the video? It went viral and everything. Of one of the Georgia State players snatched in the pregame. One of the Ole Miss players was walking through it. Snatched his chains off his neck and threw it in the stands. Did y'all see that?
No.
I did see that.
What was your take on that, Bo? And I don't think I know it was like in the second half, and they hadn't played him yet, and he was a transfer from Auburn, from coming from the SEC down to Georgia State. But I don't think I'm not sure if they played him in the game or not. But I know that it came to the second half, and they still hadn't played him. They said the coach.
I think he got suspended for the game. I'm not 100% sure on that, but is the question, how do I feel about the whole incident? Because I think they are fortunate, both teams, that it didn't turn into escalate into something more than that. I mean, you think somebody walking up on you and I would have thought that the dude would have fired off on him immediately, and that didn't happen. And that, not saying that it would have been right or that the teams would have condoned it, but I think they dodged the bullet because the kid didn't. And the dude was still I saw the video at the end. I didn't get to see the whole incident, but dude was like still going off with the chain in his hand and just like threw it. And I'm like, that's crazy for real. I mean, my whole thought was, what sparked him to what made him do that? And then secondly, what was what was the kid think about? He's extremely poor.
I'm trying to see.
We're not going off on him.
Yeah, because
I thought he had stole on him.
Hey, I definitely,
that's my thought.
I definitely thought the same way that you did, that they're extremely lucky not to have an incident, extreme incident take place that really took over the whole headlines of the news and everything. And the kid from Ole Miss, I gotta commend him for having the restraint that he had to not embarrass himself and the rest of the school and everything, and make it into a bigger situation. But where do you, in my opinion,
that was like pregame too. It wasn't the game that started.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, if the kid being suspended, I think that would be rightfully just. That if he was suspended, I might was suspending for a few more games, because I don't understand where you bring that type of mentality to do something like that into a college athletic event. That's not keeping it real, or none of that going too far. That's just being real stupid. And I thought it was a very tacky and classless thing to do. And then to throw the chain up into the crowd and all this and that, man, I didn't understand that. You know what I'm saying? And then I heard that he was a transfer from Auburn. So you're coming down and transferring down. So is that a reason? I mean, I never heard of the kid, and I don't want to speak too badly on the kid, but I just think that them actions right there was extremely, extremely classless and uncalled for, and shouldn't have took place. And just wonder what y'all take on that, and how you would have handled it as being a coach.
Now, as a coach, I think that you have to draw the line too. As a coach, you're especially at the collegiate level, you're a leader of men, so you want to set the example and set precedent when incidents like that happen. And that's why I say you don't want to condone that. But on the flip side, as a player, I understand with football, like football versus basketball, where the pregame and stuff like that, it can be a lot more aggressive. You hear a lot more talking, and you see all the time when rivalry games, guys go at it. They meet at the 50-yard line. They push, shove, argue. Teams get into it going through the locker room, what have you. But as the coach, you're never going to condone that. And for a kid to do something like that, you reaching and pulling something off somebody like the chain or something. That's why I say I feel like they're extremely lucky the dude didn't fire on him, because that's the natural reaction I would have thought. But I think it is a difference from when you're thinking about the perspective of the player and the perspective of the coach. As a coach, it's like we can't condone that and we can't have that.
Would the coach be wrong if he put him off the team for that?
I would say it'd be wrong for putting him off, because I'm thinking of it as a player. I wouldn't want to get put off the team for something like that. But on the same token, I can somewhat understand it. But I know if he was to get put off the team, he wasn't sweet. If he's sweet like that, there's no way he's gonna get put off the team. I don't think.
That's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say.
No way he's gonna.
It depends. It depends on how good this kid is. If he's good, then you give him minimal punishment, whatever you can give him, and still get away with it, so you can keep winning. and maybe punish him some other kind of way too without suspending him. But if he ain't if he ain't that good, that's when you just say, "Oh, this is outrage. You're off this team," and then that way other players will know not to try it. But I couldn't tell what really happened. What happened? Now I seen a little TikTok just now. What did he do? He walked up to him, snatched him off, and then kept it the whole game. Is that what happened?
No, they were pretty much talking to him, and I guess like it looked like an assistant coach or something was like, "Hey man, you can't be doing that." Sort of, trying to get some order and control. Yeah, and dude just took the chain and like launched it. It looked like he launched it towards the stands, like he wasn't done. And that was what it was.
Yeah,
like bro, you do something like that, you can get suspended or something. Now, come on. It's completely unbelievable. You get kicked off the team and you did that.
Yeah,
like what did you think, bro?
Now I'm one that's normally an advocate for players and stuff like that, but there's certain things that like, come on, man, that's just going too far. And me personally, as a coach, I don't care how good you are, because I don't believe in putting up with nonsense just to win a game, because that is how you destroy your program. And you destroy your program because there's a freshman. I don't know what grade that player is in, but there's a freshman or a sophomore or somebody else is looking at like, oh, if he can get away with that, then hey, let me do this. And now, hey, I'm just as good, or I'm putting up better numbers than him, so I can either try something even worse. I personally would have got rid of him. That probably been his last game. Because or he definitely, if he had done nothing else to cause any problems, he would definitely been suspended a couple games.
Would you put your quarterback off the team? Would you put Arch Manning off the team
for behavior issues that are detrimental to my team? Yes. I'm not holding on to nobody. That's what has been wrong with sports, and that's where coaches go wrong at. You cannot try to help young men grow to be men if you're only trying to use them for the benefit to win a game. You know what I'm saying? So if they are causing problems that can lead to cancerous behavior in your team that destroy your team, you gotta let them go.
Yeah,
it's simple as that. You know what I'm saying? It's no way around it. I've seen that happen too much, and then you see it happen. I've seen it happening while coaching here in high school.
People do actually do that, though. People do give like leniency towards people who got a bigger name and are a better player.
Oh, there's always different sets of rules. You know what I'm saying? There are players that definitely gonna have it's not that everybody. So when you hear them say that coaches, they coach everybody the same and everybody, that is not true. There's always somebody who got a different set of rules than everybody else. But it's whether or not that person abuses those different set of rules. You know what I'm saying? That's what it becomes in. You may have some, so it's great when you have a great player that would abide by the rules, would abide by your rules and be the leader by doing the right thing. That's when it's great. But there's always a different set of rules. I mean, always. Man, that is not something I would have done ever.
Hey man, I'll put it like this.
Green, have you heard the stories that you've told us?
Right.
You would have done this. This is something you would have done.
I would not have walked up to another player and snatched his necklace off his neck. No. I had issues with coaches.
You snatch your coach's necklace.
Not other players. I had issues with some coaches.
You will snatch the coach's necklace off and throw it in the stands in the middle of the game.
And since Shep comment, let's get I don't know if y'all knew Shep had hip replacement surgery a couple days ago. So I get well fast, cuzzo. Wish you a speedy recovery.
Man, I done already wished him all that stuff, man. He's so I'm gonna say it right here, right now.
Ain't nothing wrong with Shep.
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't
Exactly.
nothing wrong with it. Come on, man.
Hey, as far as that conversation and the scenario with the players snatching the chain and stuff, and the different set of rules for players on the team, if I'm a coach, I'll probably keep Shep. Shawnee Mack, I'm suspended for the rest of the year. He's got to go, man. Shawnee Mack got to go. Hey, man, you keep those guys that's valuable to the wins, man. Shawnee up out of here, man. Quick, fast, and in a hurry. Shep,
Hey, when let's say a coach kicks a player off the team, right? Mm-hmm. Is there ever another time where that player and the coach have to come together face to face, or they just like put you out the locker room and say, "Don't come back. We don't trust you"? How does that work?
It depends.
I have never been on a team where one of my teammates have been literally kicked off the team. I've never done. I think it was only a few situations where I've had teammates that got even suspended, and they sort of knew what it was with, what it was that they did. I had a teammate.
Who was they? Would that not be you?
I've never been in no trouble on the team ever.
Oh, off the field trouble don't count.
Never been in trouble. Not to get put off the team. I was one of those people they would bend the rules for, man. Never trouble. but I did. No, I ain't never getting no issues like that. But I had a teammate that did get in trouble. He got caught selling drugs while he was playing, and he got essentially suspended. And it came at the end of the year. He didn't get to play in the national championship game. And I was thinking, like, damn, that's harsh. Yeah. But he kicked him off the team. And that was really my only real incident where I had some.
Did you ever see him again? Did you?
Of course, I saw him again. But hey, my coach was
kicked off the team into the abyss. Nobody ever.
But that's what it seemed like when you practicing and stuff, though, because he wasn't allowed in the facility. He wasn't allowed to travel. He was literally off the team. He couldn't come with no meetings, no nothing. So it was a real deal. So they cleaned out his locker and everything.
So have you ever been to another university and maybe had some behavior off the field that might have led to somebody else being threatened by a coach to be put off of their team?
Before you even finish, I didn't do nothing at your university. I didn't do nothing. So don't even start about that. You know what I mean? I was there for 2 days.
Exactly.
Didn't do nothing.
And in 2 days caused more trouble. Hey, we won't speak on we won't even speak on those activities.
2 days. 2 days.
But yeah, I just was
2 days. And nobody got kicked off the team. Nobody got kicked off the team. Nobody got kicked off the team.
Yeah, because people had to leave for take an extra spring break that was not in session, just to get away for things to die down and take you back to where you were supposed to be at and everything too. That's what happened in those situations.
Look at this. What's this?
Hey, listen.
Who got kicked out of an NCAA track meet?
That would be Bone. That would be Bone.
And the only way he would know that is if I was there with him. And Reem and Shep snitches. You know what I mean?
Hey. I didn't say any names. I didn't say anything about what university or where something took place.
Correction. We didn't get kicked out. We did not get kicked out. They told Derek
to leave.
No, they told him to be quiet. And if you can't be quiet, then you have to leave. But then, you know what I mean? That's just I really can't really say much about that one though. That we really did get kicked out now that I think about it. But that was all because and see, Shep wanted to tell on himself.
Shep is telling it all now.
Man, they still got you on your dope from your surgery, man. You just telling it all.
But yeah, I was just interested in how what y'all take was on that situation, man. I hope the young man, that's not something that he would do again if they don't put him off the team and just suspending or whatever. But that was something that when you start to have action that's embarrassing to your program and to the university and stuff like that, it goes beyond the coaches. And that's the thing, like an incident like that going viral may go beyond the coaches. And the coach may be put in a situation that he has no choice but to put disciplinary action on him. And
oh yeah, I agree. I agree. That type of behavior, and I think that's one of the things that may potentially get lost when you're talking about big time collegiate athletics. Sometimes it's out of the coach's hands when you do something that becomes such a big story. You got people that you got to answer to, and sometimes, you know what I mean, they're gonna let you know if you're gonna be suspended, or to that degree, how long you're gonna be suspended. I would think. So
right.
I think that you got to tread softly because it's just bigger than you, and you know what I mean. You have to think about how your actions make the program look at the end of the day. So yeah.
Because that's
you can't
how,
be in pregame snatching people's necklaces off.
Right, like I can only imagine what that conversation turned into. That it was probably something that was encoded words that was probably end up being offensive to that young man or how it was said to him. But you get exactly what was being said. It probably would have been something of the lines of "You're not at home with your posse" and and things like that. But I mean, in that case, man.
That to him?
No, I said I can only imagine that's probably something that somewhere down the lines that those type of words were probably said while talking to him about his behavior.
Snatch another black man's chain?
Or would it be better if he snatched a white man's chain?
No, I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to ask.
Yes, it was another black player. It was another black player.
Oh man.
It was.
I knew it was coming from you, bro. I knew it.
Now I'm mad.
Yeah, it was a not so appropriate play. So, but what was y'all take on? I mean, we talked about the Ohio State game. What was there any other games this weekend that y'all thought was good games or that y'all enjoyed
Florida
watching?
State Seminoles.
I like the Notre Dame
Alabama.
game. Notre Dame was good too. The Notre Dame in Miami. That was nice.
So, Bone, what was your take on the Florida State Alabama game? What's your take on Alabama now?
I think. Well, see, my takes are going to be sort of bad because I didn't get to see the whole game. But anytime you have an unranked team beat a number 8 ranked Alabama team, it's going to be a big deal. Florida State, a lot of people are saying they look, based on that game, they look swag like the old school Florida State Noles teams. And me being a big Deion fan, I'm also a Noles fan because of that. I just don't.
Now, I will tell you that the quarterback from Florida State, because I watched that game, he was he looked good. He looked good. I think he's a transfer from Boston College.
Yeah. Castellano. Yeah, he looked extremely poised for that to be his first start in that sort of on that stage. But I mean, they put it on Alabama. They won by 14 points. And the next thing will be if Alabama don't turn it around, they'll be talking about, oh boy, replacing Nick Saban. They got to get him up out of here because the expectation is not to look like that if you're at Alabama.
Yeah. And so, with that being said, we talked before about the change of the landscape of college football, with how with the transfer portal and all that stuff that is changing. Do you think that Alabama is in a situation now that they're just not going to be the Alabama that what we thought of, because they didn't look great last year, and they're starting off this season. They didn't look the best.
I mean, you gotta, that's what I told you. I told you this before, cuz they need some type of coaching acknowledgement when these championships are won, to give credit where it's due to the coaches who win these championships. And Bill Belichick, not Bill Belichick, but he's won, but also Nick Saban was in there doing a great job of recruiting the right type of players, getting them to buy in. He had the credibility to probably coach them hard and make them do what he wanted them to do. And it goes to show that coaching is good. The right talent will win it, can win it with different coaches, but you probably need a good coach to get it done. And Nick Saban, he must have been good, because we don't see them winning. But I didn't really watch that game that much for me to say anything about it. But I did watch the Miami and Notre Dame game with the kid from the city that coaches Notre Dame. I was pulling for him hard, man. They was down by 7, and they had the ball. And I knew at that point they could come back and win the game. It was getting close. It was like 6 minutes left, and they ended up kicking a field goal instead of scoring a touchdown. But then Bone, you gotta tell everybody this too. This is the stupidest thing about football. There's 2 stupid things about football that you gotta explain, right? But don't let me forget about the Notre Dame game. But in the middle of this story, I gotta ask you this, bro. Why at the end of games does the offense just stop playing to play the game? Because they run it 3 times, and then they know that the other team calls timeout, and it's all to give them the ball back. So it's like you play right into their hands. And I know the odds of throwing a pass, you might not catch it or something.
Right.
But you still got to play football. You almost concede the fact that, you can't play like your regular self because, you might not complete the pass. I don't know. And then teams going to and then this the other thing I'll say, and I'll let you answer. The teams going to prevent defense at the end of the game and just let teams dink and dunk all the way up the field and get surgical on them and then score a touchdown. Mm-hmm. Why are you doing that? And you see this happen at the end of every game. What is the mindset into playing this style of defense in this dumb offense at the end of games?
So I'll first start with the quote unquote dumb offense. The dumb offense that you were speaking of, right? I
agree with Chris.
That is clock management. If you're trying to run the ball 3 consecutive times and then ultimately just punt away, all the teams are trying to do is get a team to use up those timeouts, because those timeouts can be valuable if they can use them while they have the ball. If you are on offense and you are throwing the ball and you have an incompletion, the clock doesn't run at the end of the play. When you run the ball and you get tackled in the playing field and not go out of bounds, the clock doesn't stop. So you can roll off almost a minute and a half off the clock just by running the ball as opposed to throwing the ball. And on the flip side, the stupid defense or prevent, you are just you're not trying to do no exotic blitzes. If you are up, you're winning. You're playing prevent. And what you're trying to prevent is a big play. You just don't want a big play to happen. You want to keep everything in front of you if you're playing in the secondary, and you can read up, react, make a tackle, don't let them get out of bounds, and the clock keeps running. Now, for those teams that play prevent and they still give up touchdowns, well, you did the wrong thing. And I can understand when people say don't go that route, but that is the only reason why you're doing that, because you are trying to shorten the game. when you have a lead and you want to keep it and you want to take away opportunities for them to
I
get the ball.
understand. I know that. I know everything that you said already. Everything you said.
But you were trying to score. For you, if you the coach, you want to score.
This is still, even though I know that's what they're thinking, they all watch football too and see that the shit that they're about to do is going to lead to the other team getting the ball back and then going to score. And that's what happened with Notre Dame. They just got the ball back, went and scored, and tied it up. But Miami was able to get downfield. And what did Miami do? I think they scored a touchdown. They scored a sweet touchdown, I think. And then they couldn't, that Notre Dame couldn't come back. But I was rooting for our little bro. It was a really good game, though. It came down to the wire. I personally think
they need to change the name from prevent to give up. Because every time I see somebody playing this prevent, they give up touchdown. They just give up yards and give up touchdowns. So just
in that Notre Dame game, not to cut you off, Reem, but Notre Dame went up. They scored and went up 24-20. Miami got the ball back, scored a touchdown to win 27-24.
Right. Okay. But they were kind of preventive type of defense, like you said. I get the whole that you're not trying to get beat deep, but you just can't just give up 10 yards here, 20, 10, another 10, another 10, another 10. Like at some point in time, you got to play defense, and I think you put too much pressure on yourself that you give up all these yards and then you try to wait till you get into the red zone and now you trying to play defense. But also, so on the flip side of that, you're not thinking about is that once you get down there and you get them in the red zone, now you want to play D and you've been giving things up. The offense is in a rhythm now. And now it's easier for them to convert something. And Will is absolutely correct. Bill Belichick is getting mollywopped right now. TCU, that Big 12 school,
what's the
27-7.
Yeah, 27-7, and it's
27-7. What quarter is it? Is it early
third quarter?
Third. They can
come back. Right now, it's in the third quarter.
I hope they can come back. See, do y'all want Bill Belichick to win or lose? I want him to win.
Why do you want Bill Belichick to win?
Because I don't like the fact that people said like Tom Brady was the reason why he won. I want him to win, And I wanted Tom Brady to win too, to just show like both of them can win without each other, basically.
I think they both
when they won together, they cheated,
each other with it.
Huh?
When they won together, they were cheaters.
The flake gate.
Right.
They cheated a lot, so you know what I mean.
How much do you think cheating? I mean, for real, be honest, be 100% honest, and I want us to cut this clip. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much did cheating help them win those Super Bowls?
15.
How much on a scale of 1 to 10, you said?
How much did cheating help them win those Super Bowls?
15.
I think I think it's a significant amount. I don't know what number I put on it. Maybe 7, I would think. Because 7? Well, listen to me though. The thing is, I'm not thinking about Deflategate. I think Deflategate that adds. But what they originally got popped for, they were saying they was recording other teams' practices, their walkthroughs, and seeing what they was running in situations like third down, goal lines, and stuff like that. All the way back to when they played their first, I think it was the first time they went to the Super Bowl against the St. Louis Rams. And I mean, I think that's huge. If you know what, or have an idea or clued into what people are going to run in certain situations, third down and long or goal line, that's a huge advantage.
Yeah.
And that, I would say that's huge. I would say, and it wasn't just for the Super Bowl. They said they were doing it.
This is the reason why I say 15. So all right, we take everything that Bone just said there, but also what he what he didn't put in there is of saying that you knowing what somebody's doing, okay? Because you can get that off of any type of a film session or watching what they do in the game. But when you are taping somebody's practices, now you know all the check downs, the changes, the language, the lingo, everything that you don't get from a games film. So now you see in the practice session, you know, okay, well, this is the change, because you may change something from game to game as far as language and lingo of how you're doing something, this and that. So now if you know all of that, man, yes, it's out of 15. It's out of 15 for how much cheating helped them win in that.
100%. And a couple of those, they beat Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship game. So I ain't got no love for the New England, Bill Belichick, none of that. It's a wrap. They cheated. There's no way around.
How do you think he's going to do here as far as coaching college? Because coaching college is completely different than the NFL.
It's going to be hard because sort of the same thing I said with Deion in Colorado. His ability to attract the top talent to a place like North Carolina is going to be difficult. I don't care how you slice it. You are an NFL legend, but he doesn't have that kind of equity at the college game. I mean, now granted, he can tell people when he has relationships at the next level where he can say, you know, if you ball here, we'll make sure we get you in the right place at the next level. But it's not gonna be equivalent to what you're going to see at the bigger universities like LSU's, the Ohio States, the Michigans, the Georgias. Those schools, it's going to be hard to recruit against them. So I think that, and he ain't going to have that kind of bag for those kids to go to North Carolina. I don't think. So I think it's going to be difficult. It's going to be uphill sledding for him. But he might bring some schemes to make them competitive.
Do you think Jordan can help him?
Nope.
Well, the fact, because you know how these young kids are about wearing Jordans and all this and that. So do you think that his brand of being the outfitter of North Carolina can help him get talent?
I mean, I ain't gonna say I won't minimize it to nothing, but I don't think that it's going to change, because that same influence that Jordan has about, like, to what you're saying, the shoes, outside of actually physically seeing Jordan Brand is, I mean, he's at multiple schools. Jordan Brand is Michigan. Jordan Brand is at I can't remember the other schools he's at. I want to say Oklahoma. I think he's there at Oklahoma as well. So that influence is there as well. It's just not the home base for Jordan. So
but it's traditionally known that North Carolina receives more.
Hey, I ain't paying no attention to Chef's profile picture. Hold on. Look at this. Look, all this talking about Chef's profile pic.
Let's pull up Chef.
Look.
Oh, wow.
That pic is old, bro. Look at Chef. It's so funny, man. Hold on. Look at Johnny Mac. Look, Johnny Mac.
Is that Big Perm or Big?
Trying to be low-key Gerald Levert out here, you know what I mean?
Hey, look, bro, Shep said something that I agree with, though, bro. Look at this.
What'd he say?
I wanted to say this because I didn't give my take to y'all on the Patriots cheating, whether it caused them to win or not. And y'all said it. Reem said 15. Bone, you said 7. Out of 10, I would say 0, man. 0. They could have guessed what they was gonna do, but you can't stop. You can't. If they was gonna get over on them, they was gonna get over.
If that would,
that's right. It wasn't that much of a. It wasn't nothing. They won those games. They might have cheated a little bit, but it wasn't like Because the refs cheat some. Hold on, listen. The refs cheat in some of these games. And any of them coaches, bro, you never know what them players are doing and all of that other stuff. So just because, I don't know. I just think that on the most part, recording people's stuff, stealing signals. You don't think other programs did any of that?
I think if it didn't matter, they'll let everybody do it then.
That's true. And stealing signals is completely different than filming someone's practice. You can learn everything in practice. You all get film sessions to break down what happens in games, and you can watch the game.
Why are they practicing in their facility? I don't understand how they're filming their practices. What do they do?
They said the week of the Super Bowl, they had someone showing up on site where the Rams were practicing, and they were recording their walkthroughs. So they were looking at situations in the game, say for instance, goal line, and seeing what their offense is going to run specifically in the Super Bowl. They're also looking at third down situations and finding out what they're going to run. And to Reem's point, they can look at what signals they're going to be rallying in for checks or whatever the case may be. But I think that is a significant advantage if you have that and the other team doesn't. If it didn't matter, they wouldn't do it. I think if it didn't give them an advantage, they wouldn't have done it either. So, yeah, I mean, that's a big deal. The only reason we have signals and stuff is so that the other team won't know what they are, and we can get into our coverages or get into whatever route combinations we're going to use without the other team knowing. Now, if the other team knows it, we might as well tell them what our plays are.
And stealing signals during the game is completely different. When you see what somebody doing and you see in the game, okay, they're going to this, that's completely different. Like you could study that from watching somebody in the game. If they put up, like in basketball, you come down and you put up 2, and you see, okay, they running this play, that play, this and that. But to see what somebody does in practice, to know what is the counter to the counter to the counter, that's a whole different ball game. You can that is just completely ridiculous. A form of cheating, and to do it at the NFL level is extremely ridiculous. It's extremely ridiculous, and I think it should have been some punishment with that. And I know we're getting ready to get off here. But I'm ask one question for you, Bone. I saw this weekend that there was a player that was that got suspended at one school. He entered the transfer portal. Matter of fact, he was who did Clemson play against?
LSU.
LSU. So the kid had entered the was supposed to be suspended for the first half for the half of a game for throwing a punch in the last football game that he played last year, and he was at a different school. So he transferred and went into the portal. Clemson coach made sure that he knew that this kid wasn't supposed to play, and the kid was suspended for the first half of the game. So my question is, so with kids now entering the portal and their suspensions go with them, do you think that when these college coaches commit violations and get into trouble, should their suspensions go with them?
Yes. Hardball. If that's the game we're going to play, yes.
No, I don't believe that, though. I don't believe specifically with Harbaugh it should, and that ain't the Michigan bias, but I believe he's going to the NFL.
No, can't go to the NFL with
no matter where you go. No matter where you go, that suspension go with you.
Well, my opinion on that is if you're going to the NFL, that's a different league. Just like if you're a college player and you get a suspension and you go to the league, there's no way they can enforce a suspension on you in the NFL. So they couldn't do it to a coach. But as long as you're in the NCAA,
write it in their contract. I write it in the contract. I say you have to forego or pay a fine or submit to this suspension in any league that you go, and this is part of the contract. When you sign it, that's something that the other signing party has to get released in order for them to sign you.
But you can't do that because the NCAA and the NFL don't have a working relationship like that. You're being hired by.
I'm controlling their autonomy.
Yeah,
that ain't never gonna work. That'll never work.
I don't think it could go to another league. But I'm talking.
Hold on,
I'm speaking from
yes,
college
it
to
is.
college.
Like you can't just get out of the NBA and go start playing in the Euro League without you being released from the contract.
Yes, you can.
Without being released from your contract.
Yeah.
Oh.
And no suspension that is being upheld in the NBA can have any impact on what you do in the Euro League or vice versa. Not a suspension.
So you can quit your NBA contract and hold on. Let me see how this works. So what's happening?
We're talking about getting suspended. We're talking about a suspension in one league impacting you or carrying over into you playing.
So
in
you saying if you change teams, it has to go with you.
In college, yes, that's what we're talking about.
You're in college.
So what we're saying is that I saw a player was suspended. He got in trouble in a game after the last game last year. So the thing is that you're suspended for the first half of the next game. So that carries on to this season, and he transferred schools. So now Clemson coach made sure that he let that be known so that this kid did not play in the first half of the Clemson LSU game. So what I'm saying is, so now when these college coaches are committing these violations, so if Harbaugh would have tried to go to another college, instead of Michigan having the penalties put on them, should the penalties then follow with the coach to the next university? Because of what I think will happen there, it will keep coaches from hopping around and moving and making all these decisions to go to these different schools when they carry the penalty for what they did or whatever happened while they was at the helm at this university.
I agree with that. I think that would only be fair because, like you said, the player, a suspension would follow them. So any suspension that a coach would or any infraction that a coach have, it should follow him to his next endeavor. If he went,
should it follow him though? Should it?
Yes, it should.
Or,
yes.
So if a player does something, they say, "Man, I'm tired of this." What about if it's some unreasonable coach that like wants to be vindictive and suspends a player because they want to transfer? If he just got it,
that's not the suspension we're talking about. That's not the suspension we're talking about. We talking about a suspension based off of like something happened in a game that was an NCAA suspension that was put on them. So what happened was this kid.
Yeah, that's okay, right. Right.
Yeah, not that. Hey, I decided to suspend you, and then you transfer to Bone School, and then I'm like, oh, I suspended him, so he got it. No, not that.
Oh yeah, if it's the NCAA, you still playing in the NCAA, so therefore you're suspended. It ain't even in the coach's discretion to make you do it or not. You're serving the NCAA suspension.
Right. So what I'm talking about is so when the coaches commit NCAA violations and schools are hit with sanctions because of this, but then these coaches can go to another job, but the sanctions stay on the university and not the coach. So I'm saying, should these sanctions? So when Harbaugh committed rule violations at Michigan or whatever. So say Harbaugh went to Arkansas and coach. Should Arkansas suffer the same the penalties be applied to Harbaugh, so wherever he goes, that's where the penalties lie. So if they say, hey, it's a scholarship restriction, those scholarship restrictions go with him as opposed to the university.
I agree with that. I think that would be right. I think that's the way it should be, actually. I think that's really, that's a no-brainer in my opinion. But I think, not that I'm going against the grain or anything, but I think that with the NIL, I think you're going to see a lot less infractions with coaches and stuff. I think that it's damn near the Wild Wild West. Coaches, I think they hands are clean now. They can pretty much say if you want to get money. I think most infractions are because of money, and I think now coaches can say if you want to make money, it is clearly a situation now where you can make it. If you that dude, you got the NILs and you've got collectives that are going to be always available to the top talent. It's just a matter of whether or not you are. You know what I mean? And even if you're not top talent, you might be able to make some money some way, somehow. But I think coaches sort of are, I think their hands are clean now. They can say, shoot, you want to make some money, you can get it now.
Did y'all see Deion's proposal to the NCAA that he feel that based off of making it to the tournament and everything that the players should be paid incentives based off of how far they go and winning playoff games will get this amount of money to the players will be able to make that type of money, and then winning the national championship they make they get paid for that too. You don't like that?
I think Deion put that out there. I don't like the timing of it all too. He said that after his son was gone. Now, mind you, his son had one of the biggest NIL deals around. And now if you look at the NIL,
you don't like it or you do like it?
I don't like it. I think if you
because his son is gone. Why? Because his son is gone.
Yeah, what does that have to do with it?
Because they weren't going to be participating in the college football playoff based on what he's saying. You get more money if you're the better you do. If you're in the playoffs,
right. So he's not. It don't seem like it's selfish or he's like doing it for himself. He's just talking about a fundamental rule change that'll pay the players their value from what they generating. What has it got to do with his sons ain't there? That's better. He said he don't got no son to make the money for.
He's saying it's going to be a cap, and my understanding of what he proposed was you're going to get more money the further you go. So the more you produce, i.e. get into the playoffs, that's going to it's going to accelerate, or you're going to get more NIL dollars.
Mm-hmm. Not NIL dollars. He just said players getting paid. That so every team. So say that if your team win the first round of the tournament, you each player get paid $2,000. If you go to the next round, y'all win. It's a $4,000 pot that all the players get. And then the next round, and then so on for a national championship. It was not putting a cap or talking about anything that got to do with their other NIL.
It better be it better be a $4 million pot. Like if they gonna do it for real.
I don't necessarily.
They making all that money. It's revenue sharing. It's only right. You don't get paid off of all of these players out there playing, and they're the only ones that's not getting paid.
I don't necessarily like that. I like the idea that if you're able to broker or negotiate a deal in college, and someone is willing to pay you X amount of dollars, I like the idea of them getting them. Hey, I get it how I get it.
The colleges have made enough money off them kids, bro. It's time to do fair now.
His proposal, Bone, was not to negate that stays in play, that you can get whatever you get off of NIL. He's just saying that for winning teams, that there's a pool of money. So now off of the playoffs, when you win, there's a pool of money that the players get paid off of that. It has nothing to do with the NIL. That stays the same.
So you're talking about adding? He's saying
this is a bonus
money to it.
It's bonus. It's a bonus.
So now with the playoffs,
more money
is basically profit sharing with the players off of. So now the incentive is if you win each round and you win the national championship, all the players get paid out of a pot of money, a pool of money out of that.
But you know what? Why I believe that will never work?
Why?
You have roughly 100 and something kids on a college football roster. And when you say everybody's going to get paid, that includes I would assume.
Yeah, your last man
on the roster. Everybody.
Right.
And do you say since you were a walk-on, but you're on the team, you don't get nothing? Like, how do you break that up so everybody get paid the exact same amount? And I mean, I just think that gets pretty dicey. That gets pretty dicey if you ask me.
I think if that's what you're doing, then that should be what it is. Because it's also like the rule when they came with the cost of attendance is that okay, this is what you get as a cost, the cost of attendance that you get $7,000 a semester. So it didn't matter if you was the first player, the best player, or the worst player, you got that. NIL is for you to negotiate to get more money based off of who you are, off of your name, image, and likeness. But as far as a pool going into it doesn't matter if you started the game or you didn't play in the game. If that's the pool that goes and each player gets $5,000 when you win the national championship, then everybody gets $5,000.
All of this is a bonus anyway. And the thing about it is like your NIL, right? We all agree on it. It's like the NIL is your time to shine. You generate that for yourself, but all of this other stuff that the team gives you is just love. So the bonus is love. You want everybody to get some money. Everybody practice and work hard, and y'all win together and share whatever they got. But make it a big pot. Like you say, you say it's 100 million. You got 100 players on the team. Everybody get $1 million. That'd be nice. It'll be nice,
time. But that's
do something like that.
That money, whatever. When you're talking about it's a bonus, it's coming out of somebody's pocket.
You don't think they can make 100 million to give to the players?
No, not. I mean,
hell no.
In a college football championship.
No. That's why I said.
That's bullshit. Yes, they can, bro. Yes, they can.
So how much money? So you say the college championship game is generating $1 billion?
I think so. I don't know.
That one game, not that one game.
I don't know how much $1 billion can be, but I'm just saying, like, do I think it can generate 100 million and everybody else break even to give the players some cheddar? I think that would be a major thing. Yes, I think they could probably get advertising dollars to add to a pot that would just be straight there for the team to win.
You can't get no advertising.
Yes,
you got the advertising.
Those contracts are already negotiated out.
Wait, hold on. Let me finish my thought. Then y'all agree. All I'm saying is this concept. I don't know if it exists now, but we'll create it. The college NCAA solicits, say, advertisers, put together a pot that we're gonna give away to the winners. We want to raise $100 million. They'll raise it through advertising, put that pot together, and then give it to the winners of the championship from sponsors, and still make all the money that they're gonna make. Certainly they can get that together. So it's no, they can't do that.
The reason I say no is because those sponsorship dollars have already been allocated. They've already negotiated their sponsorship.
You get more sponsors. You get more sponsors than the ones you got. This is a separate sponsorship package that people can fill up. I don't know why y'all saying
that's what I'm saying. Because the NCAA and all of their marketing and sponsorship partners they're legally bound to say, okay, this is who you're going to be working with as it relates to this national.
Man, hell no, y'all. I'm not explaining it good enough. I'm not explaining what I'm thinking good enough because there's no way this can't happen. Y'all might be right because I'm not explaining it good. We'll rewind it and everybody will be like, no.
But if you talk about $1 million off of that game, and they give them $1 million per each player, that is no longer a non-professional player. If they're making $1 million off of one game, regardless of what happens, I'm like, that's a little extreme. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, like I said, every player win the game. Man, 5 to 10. The championship team get $5,000 to $10,000. You know what I'm saying? Every player. That's legitimately
because I'm drawing the attention, the excitement, the gotta watch, the must see, the circumstance to make this game really large in order for the payout to be what it is. Like that's what's at stake in this game. $1 million for even the youngest player. That storyline is so good. And it's good for college football. It's good for them to give back. It's good for them to enrich. It's good for them to give in their own way reparations for all of the thievery, all of the corruption and evil that they've done, the stealing, the taking from these young kids. To give each player $1 million the one time is a drop of water in a bucket of the thieving that they've done.
But think about it. Just think about it, though, bro. Relatively speaking, you can't find many NFL players that get paid $1 million for one game. They're not a lot of.
Why this is going to be the greatest thing of all time to watch. You can put all of that in the ad to say this is what's going on.
But this is the thing. It's not a one-time game. It's an every year game.
Right. And you're saying that every year you got a couple players you're banking on $1 million for 100 and something kids for one game.
They can do it so easy. It won't be nothing. One player, one person.
But you're saying that's for one game, but you got to think they have to win 3 games prior to playing that game, and they're going to
right. I might not give all the money every game they win. I just when you win this, it's the big dog shit. The big dog shit.
What was that last comment?
There ain't no third place payouts, none of that shit. You win this college football championship, here's $1 million. Go crazy. And that would be so cool. I would watch it. I would watch it for the stakes that are involved. You know, I don't like baseball, but the World Series, yeah. You know. So.
That's professional baseball, though. You're talking about collegiate athletics and giving someone $1 million for not just the superstars, but the walk-ons who just are tackling dummies. They get $1 million.
Exactly.
We're not even suiting up for the game. I'm not saying whether they deserve it or not. I'm just saying financially it wouldn't be feasible to do that at all. No one would even think about doing that. Would you say $1 million?
Y'all don't want to enrich these young kids. Y'all don't want to enrich them. Why not? How much money did the school make off of this kid participating in this sport, no matter who they are, to put the whole performance together? How much money, not in one game, but all the games? They didn't give them shit for any of the games. So now this is the time to collect for each kid and give them $1 million at the end of the year.
I'm not. If I had the money to have, I'm not giving them $1 million.
$1 million is good. It's nice love.
First of all, that's not correct now because the players are paid at this time. That's what the collective is at these schools that these kids get. So these kids are paid. So we were the generation, and the generation of athletes before us and some years after us are the ones who did not get paid anything. These kids now do get paid, all of them. They have what's called a collective that the schools collect money and they pay them. And they come in there and they receive money. A couple generations before, they had what was called the cost of living. So they received money just to go to school based off of what the cost of attendance. That's what it was called. And they received $5,000 to $7,000 to $10,000 a semester. So no, these kids are getting some money. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like they're not getting paid. And the collective is what they come up with. And a lot of these kids are getting quite a few hundreds of thousands of dollars right now. So to propose a pot
from
everybody,
from just the college paying them?
Yes, that's what. So what they call as an NIL is
believe me, the college is not giving these kids this money and they don't deserve it. If they're getting that, they're earning it. It's not a handout, right? So give them.
You talking to somebody who did this and didn't receive no money? Yes, they deserve it in every form of fashion, and that's what we have been asking for.
They deserve more than what they're getting.
So what we've been asking them to get what that they are able to get now and be paid. But let's not get overly ridiculous with what we're talking about on paying them, because that is
win the national championship to get $1 million for every player on the team.
Every player, yes. That's way
Why
that's
is
way
that
too much.
ridiculous? I don't understand how that's ridiculous.
Where's the $100 million coming from?
If you think about
I told you
you
can
earlier,
get sponsors to contribute to a pot. If you get Microsoft, Tesla, some of these hedge funds, bro, you can get $100 million to give to the players from sponsors.
What makes you think they aren't already sponsors?
Because not for that though. They're not sponsors for the giveaway. They're sponsors for what they sponsors for. Why can't we get additional sponsors, or let them do it if they want to pay some more money? Go ahead. Whoever gives it to us, we'll take it. But why can't we get a bag of money from sponsors to give to the players? Y'all saying $1 million is too much for these kids.
No, I'm asking. Let me ask you something, though, bro. If you had the $100 million to sponsor the college football playoff, would you feel like that was a sound investment to put your $100 million?
Yes.
No, I wasn't finished.
Okay.
Into the bench riders, into the walk-ons, they get $1 million for one game, and they haven't suited up in one game that year. You're saying, yeah, they did earn that. They haven't played one game. Hold on, they haven't played one game. In most cases, the walk-on hasn't even suited up for a game. In some cases, they may not even practice other than put on a uniform and come out there. But you're saying, yes, they do deserve $1 million for one game. That's what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that. But let me explain why. The reason why I think they should is because they're a part of this team. And just because they don't suit up for the game don't mean that they don't dedicate their time. Just because they suit up, they don't mean that they don't get out there and make
ring for that. They get a national championship ring for that.
Oh, bro, I'm just talking about, I know they do that, but they're going to get $1 million too, in my thinking, because I'm saying they dedicate their time. They work their butts off. They work for the hope that one day they'll get a chance to play. But in the meantime, they're sharpening the players that are actually out there playing to be better.
How? If they don't practice, they're walk-ons. They don't get on the field.
Why are they there then? Why are they there?
To say that they were on the team.
No, they're not. The university has them there for something. What do they got them there for?
No, they're a walk-on. They're a walk-on. So they're there.
I know that, but do they got clearance to the practice facility? Do they practice? Listen, I don't want nobody to get paid that's not a part of the real team. So I don't want to talk about a walk-on that ain't for real. I don't know. Okay. If they've got a uniform and they are part of the team and they practice and they dedicate their time, then I want them to be included. But we ain't talking about the water boy or whatever. We just talking about the roster.
Trophy. Everybody.
The roster. Whoever get a ring, you get the money. I don't understand why that would be very good.
I think that they should get the money as far as walk-ons is concerned, that they are part of the team. I just don't think that it's ever going to be that anybody would agree to give every player $1 million.
Never.
It doesn't seem too far to me. I think they can do it any day.
Just look at what
that's the trend.
Since the inception of NIL, where they can give players what they want to give them. It's get what you earn. How many players are making $1 million? Not every player. How many players are making $1 million at Ohio State? Maybe 2 or 3. It may be more. I don't know. But it dang sure ain't more than the starting 22.
I'd like to see it, you know. I think it'll be cool, man. Little bro get $1 million.
Hey, cuz what was Shep's last comment?
I didn't see it. I don't know what he said.
Hold on, look at that. He said something. Look. use the Donald Trump mega model for the famous. See?
Hmm?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I guess we have to get Elon to come in and start cutting people's jobs and stuff to be able to create the money.
They get paid from the collective FAFSA and NIL. So that's and Shep is in this. He knows exactly what's going on right now.
Now everybody can't get paid off of players get paid.
So you mean to tell me that any player can't get that meal ticket that works his tail off, man, to get in that game, and then practices against the starters and makes them better and prepares them to go out there and actually win the game? The bench player has a role of importance, and I don't think it's not. You guys is basically saying the bench players ain't nothing.
No, that's not what I said. If you remember,
I'm saying they're not more valuable than the starters. They're not more valuable than the starters.
I said the bench players have a role and they are very important to the team. I just said that none of them are going to get $1 million. That's not going to be the payout. I believe that it should be a pot of money and every player should be equally paid from the walk-on to whoever, but it will not be $1 million per player.
Won't be $1 million.
What about so what about 100,000? Is that too much?
I damn near think for one game, yes.
It's not for one game. Why do y'all keep saying for one game? It's
because
for the
that's how you said
it's been working up to this point. And no, they win the game. They get the money after they win that one game, but they've worked the whole season, the off season, everything that they've done, every sacrifice they made is to this moment, and they accomplished that
because it's
not one game.
Because it is this one game. Because everybody else that has played against them, they had that same level of sacrifice. They just didn't have it in that day. They didn't win the big game. So
they would be lucky if that pot can be that it's 10,000 per player.
No,
they would be lucky.
That's more. Yeah, that's more.
That's disrespect. That's big disrespect. It's disrespect to the player.
How they've been?
There's a famous quote that said, "Never talk down to a player unless you're ready to be straight labeled as a hater."
You need help, man. You need help.
Hey, bro.
I think, but like I said, 10,000 would be if they come up of a pool that each of the players can get $10,000. That they'd be lucky to receive that, and I think that is very fair. And some other players are going to get paid more off of their FAFSA. I mean, not off of FAFSA, off of their NIL and off of their collective. Every player is not going to get paid off of FAFSA based off of what their parents' income is and this and that. And I wouldn't be surprised if FAFSA start changing to the point that they include the players, what they receive from the collective as part of the money too, that FAFSA might be phased out for these players. So
to every player across the USA that's playing college football, that's watching this podcast right now, remember, I'm the one that wanted y'all to get paid. They was saying no.
We didn't say no. We didn't say no. We just said nobody's going to give them $1 million per player to win that national championship.
I'll guarantee, man, the money. The 10,000 is so insignificant and boring. Nobody even cares about it, right?
Do you know how much money?
Shep, don't these kids ask Shep, how long has y'all talking about one game? Shep, how long has little Shep been playing to get to this moment that he's at right now? Isn't each game Shep plays an accumulation of all the work that he's been putting into now? So for them to reward Shep for all of this hard work his whole life to get to that point right there, like going beyond this season, they win the championship. $1 million is less than the value and the money that he's put in to actually get to this point. Actually, the money that's been earned off of him, plus the work and money that he's put into this, it doesn't even recoup for the whole investment and money made off of you.
So, Terrence, you're saying that as if we're arguing against you about that. We were victims of this system that were not allowed to make anything.
Right.
These players nowadays, as Shep just eloquently put, they getting paid from the collective and NIL and faster. So they are receiving some money for their work. We were the generation, Pop's generation did not receive anything. Matter of fact, if we got a job, it was considered illegal.
Right.
So therefore, we're not fighting that for them not to get paid. I'm all for it. And I'm all for Deion's idea of putting a pot of money together that they get paid after winning. I'm for that. But your idea of saying that each player is going to get $1 million, $100 million in the pot is not realistic. That's not going to happen.
It is.
The system is still too greedy for that to ever take place.
Well,
that's why I
don't
like that.
If they were smart, they would do it. If college football wanted to return itself to the time when people really was into college football, they would do it. You know,
that's when nobody got nothing.
I'm talking about the interest, man. Ohio State and Michigan, I guess right now it is still pretty good, but it was real good back in the day too.
Viewership is higher now
Florida State back in the day, and Miami back in the day, and the teams that we used to watch when we was kids. I think that college football had a level of excitement that I don't see it right now. You know. So if they did what I'm saying, and I'm saying all of that to say, if they did what I say, then we would see the results that we used to see. So, you know,
I think they would get worse. I think
college football is doing bad or not.
But your model,
I'll say
I think that will ruin. I think your model would ruin college football. You give a kid $1 million for playing in a game.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Why did that ruin? I'm trying to figure out how that would ruin anything. To enrich somebody, it will ruin them.
The reason why Deion wants to do it also is going to, of what's already going on, the parity in football. So, like what you were talking about now was when there was just certain schools, and it was just about these certain schools. Now, with the NIL, with the transfer portal, the parity of college football is becoming, so there's more exciting football, there's more better games, there's more schools that are good.
It's harder to win.
Exactly, because it's starting to even out some. You know what I'm saying? Where the playing field is starting to be even, which makes for more exciting football. Which makes for that now when you turn on, there's good game after good game after good game that you're hoping to get, as opposed to just, we're just looking forward to seeing these 10 schools play, and who are they playing? So now, the money aspect has to go across the whole thing. So now, you know what happens to when you get to looking at that, you know what? There might be some kids that start to like, hey, let's go to this school. We might have a better chance this year to win at this school as opposed to that school. You know, and you're going to see it. And that's what the proposal is for. But $1 million per player, I mean, that's.
I thought football had a 53-man roster.
That's the NFL.
Yeah.
College got how many kids on a team?
In college?
Yeah, 100 kids.
Saying. You got over 100 kids on the team, man. That is way.
I don't care how many kids it is. They can get enough money to give them $1 million each. It ain't nothing but fake printed money anyway. Why wouldn't they?
That's a different conversation.
I'm just saying, it ain't nothing. It ain't like they really got to do anything. It's like, okay, he got $1 million. He's going to put it back into the economy. Basically, to me, but you know what, man? It would be so many resentful media people and resentful journalists. And I mean, not journalists, but even like the coaches have to get the money too, you know?
Exactly. That's the thing.
So, the coaches get the money now. Don't even do that.
That makes some of the stuff harder with college also now, because you got players demanding NIL deals where they make more money than coaches, which makes it harder to coach. which is why the NBA is how it is, where it's not a lot of coaching that go on, because that if I'm making 100 million and you the coach and you making 5 million, what you about to tell me? I ain't listening to you. and that's not what you want to go down into college.
That model would destroy.
No, it won't.
It would.
No, I don't understand how we.
This is how. As an 18-year-older, I go onto a campus. I didn't play in no games, but I just happened to be on a great team, and we go and win a national championship that I had no contributions to, and my payoff is $1 million.
Okay.
The next year,
and the coach makes 200,000.
What can you tell me?
Money too. What are we talking about? And wait,
so now you got another. Now you got another pool of money, right?
Tell me a kid, 18 years old, that gets $1 million is just all of a sudden gonna go crazy? We start spending. Man,
we see it every
gonna be right there.
We see it every year with a year older individuals that go to the NBA.
Don't give kids money because you think that they're gonna automatically just do.
No, we didn't say don't give them money. I'm saying that they now become uncoachable. Now you got the money, but what a coach gonna tell you that don't make that money? You ain't listening to that. That's already becoming. That's already
the money too.
Because I hear what you're saying, but now you create another pool of money, right? So for the coaches to get paid, because this is already going on with the NIL now, with the collectives that's happening. It's already happening where coaches are saying, "Hey, we can't deal with these kids because these kids are getting money."
They making plenty of money off of these games, and there's not enough revenue sharing. The little money that they're giving these kids, they don't got the formula. First of all, let me tell you something. They don't even got the formula to figure out how much money they should be paying each player, because they haven't calculated it.
They never will. And they never will.
New. So first of all, you can't act like they're paying them fairly, because they don't even know what fair is, because there's some programs that don't get a lot of money. There's other programs that got a whole lot. So they're trying to come up with some type of blanket strategy to pay players. When it really don't. How ain't they? How ain't they?
Because they
just came up with this stuff. So you mean to tell me what they came up with won't ever be amended, and they got it all figured out right now on their paying of players system and structure?
You want to know what I do know? Whatever they amend and whatever they come out with is still going to benefit the biggest schools. Just like it benefited the biggest schools before they had NIL and people were getting paid under the table.
Right.
And now that they have, so it's no fairness. You're talking about they're trying to amend stuff to get something fair.
No, that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you that y'all saying they paying players, and I'm trying to tell you whatever they pay them, it's not fair, because they don't even know what fair is.
Where is fair? It's never going to be nothing fair, though. Why even talk about fair?
So what are we talking
even in the professional leagues, it's not fair.
Right.
Fair
so
don't
that's
exist.
My point is saying that the players need to be compensated, because what they're doing to
they're
them
getting compensated.
Fair.
They're
not. You just said what they're getting paid ain't fair. I'm saying
fair,
bro.
Don't matter.
Hold on, listen. You saying what they're doing right now ain't gonna never be fair.
No.
Fair. It ain't gonna be fair.
It ain't gonna be fair for the smaller schools. The big schools are always.
That's what I'm. Whoever it ain't fair for, that's who I'm defending. I'm saying it's not gonna be fair. I'm telling you how to make it fair, because it's not.
It'll never be fair. It'll never be fair.
I'm giving you a strategy to balance it out, to make it a little better.
I'm gonna tell you this: what's gonna happen? Because based off of the philosophy of what you having, they're gonna end up going back to what it was when we was in school. Because now they saying play no, not for just period. For the collective, everything. Period. That we trying to pay players now. And now y'all complaining. Y'all want more. Y'all want more. Y'all. When does it stop? And that's what they're going to say. You know, like we've opened this up. We paying you now. Now you saying that this ain't fair what you get. But before you wasn't getting nothing at all.
Sanders saying that they need to pay. I'm only going off of my agreement with what we were saying, that Deion Sanders said the deeper you go into the playoffs, you should be paid for those
And I'm saying
milestones.
that's
And
crazy.
then so I was just kind of like expanding on his idea. You know, I might be taking his idea to the extreme, basically. But I am saying though that players, but to me, it's not really an extreme, but it probably is, you know. But I'm thinking Deion Sanders, that's where he would like to see it eventually get, though. I know that. I know because somebody that's got money like Deion Sanders, he know that $1 million won't last a long time. And if you win that championship, that's a huge feat to accomplish. And $1 million for that would be like an appropriate award for the feat.
You know what?
You know,
that's what you just said is why. What you just said is why college athletes will never get $1 million for one game, because you just said $1 million would not last for a long time. And if you give any young person that kind of money, if you tell me, or you tell someone that's grown and actually had to work for $1 million, I think the perspective would be different. That $1 million should last you a long time. That is life-changing money for a lot of people. And for you to say, oh, it's nothing, it's $1 million, it'll be gone fast. You can't have that perspective for people that are coming from no money.
No, I'm not saying that
That's what you said, though, bro.
I did, but what I'm trying to say is that when you go and you buy a house, when you help out some of your family members, when you try to invest in a business, whenever it is that whatever type of move that you're making, you do got to invest that money. So it doesn't just sit there unless you start working it some type of way. You say, oh, I got to go buy me a truck, or I got to buy a house and give me a couple of rentals. So people, you got to do something with the money, not blow it, but invest it and work it. But it's going to be gone for a little while until you make it back. So that's my point in saying that, like, you giving these kids a jump start. They're not going to take the money and just be no goofy or go and buy drugs with it or crash a car or do something stupid. They can take that money and invest it in themselves in case this athletics doesn't work. There's no guarantee that they're going to ever get to that championship again. So when they win, make it count. Make it count for them. You give them $1 million. Boom. Here, young king, go out there and do your thing. Get you a business. Set yourself up. Get you a rental property while you're playing. Or whatever it might be with the parents' help. I don't know, but I'm saying it doesn't have to be them crashing and burning. It could be them taking the money and doing something smart with it. They are in college. It ain't like you just giving it to some person that's just getting out of prison or something. You are giving it out to
that's another reason why they would never get $1 million. You just said it. You are in college. The reason that you are there is to get an education. It's not that the reason that you are there is to get an education, and that's going to be point blank. Period.
Get money. No, you're in college to get money later. That's the only reason why you're in college, to get go get a job. To somebody will pay you later. But at the end of the day, you're
in college to acquire a skill that's going to ultimately, hopefully, make you money.
Right.
But it's not to get. You don't go to college to just show up and get $1 million. You're there to get an education. That's why you play the sport, so that you can get a scholarship.
The money later, but you want it now
to get a scholarship.
All right.
It's the truth.
I don't get it, but it's I can't understand it. I want everybody. Them kids can use that cheddar, bro, and they earned it from all their sweat equity. But we did promise that we was gonna try to get off around 11 o'clock. So, cuz, let's do for shits and giggles.
All right. My for shits and giggles would be, let's see, for the day. What has been something that has been for the shits and for giggles? Well, I guess I could look at it from this standpoint. We just were talking about Shep having a hip replacement surgery. So can look back to myself also having a hip replacement a few years ago, and just thinking about the pounding and the damage that you do in your body, and then me and Shep talked the other day after he had the surgery, and was just talking about the excruciating pain that you in before actually having the hip replacement surgery and everything. So just the for shits would be just all the pain that going having to be around when I was in my young mid-40s, walking with a cane and stuff like that because my hip and stuff was so bad. But now to be pain-free, you know what I'm saying, that I don't have the pain in my hip, but you can tell. I always tell everybody I can tell that I got something foreign in my body, but I'm not in the pain and everything that I used to do. So I remember when I first got the news that I was gonna need a hip replacement surgery, and I was so mad because I was like, man, I love this game of basketball and all that I put into it, and like, damn, it didn't give me nothing back. You know what I'm saying? It didn't love me back. I had to get my hip replaced and everything. But now I'm able to be happy, just glad that I can't hoop no more. I can't run. I can't do none of that type of stuff. But just to be happy that, you know what I'm saying, I'm not in the pain that I once was with my right hip. But I'm eventually going to have my left hip replaced too. So that's my for shits and giggles, and just the breakdown of how hoop and shit totally broke my body down and everything. And now trying to get better to be better in this second half of life.
Word up.
My for shits and giggles is, man, the other morning I woke up. Hey, bro, this is not funny. I'm laughing about this, but this is insane. Listen to this, bro. The other morning, this is like last Wednesday, I woke up, put my foot on the ground. I swear, bro, it hurt so bad. I was like, what is going on? Maybe I'm just like limping because it's the morning. I'm trying to reason it out, but I just had to go to the bathroom and then go back to the bed to rest some more. So I thought when I woke up, I'd be all good, right? I wake up, man, bro, my foot was hurting so bad. It was crazy. So I said, I'm gonna rest today. I said, nah, I gotta go to urgent care. I literally went to urgent care because my foot was hurting so bad. And they didn't have an x-ray machine in there, nothing. I had to go back the next day. I bought these crutches. It was hurting my arm so bad and just, but my foot, I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk for like 2 days. And then all of a sudden I went and got another x-ray. They was like, nothing's wrong. No broken bones, no nothing. But I still could not walk. And then 2 days later, now I can walk again, bro.
Sounds like you have plantar fasciitis. Is that the bottom of your foot?
It is at the like bottom, like this is my foot, yeah. Like this is my foot, and it's like
right around your arch, heel.
Yeah,
going to, yeah. Sounds like you have plantar fasciitis.
Bro, listen to me though.
I'd have to agree with that.
Stupid, bro. This was stupid.
Yeah,
I couldn't believe it. What was going on? And I had to do so much stuff, man, and I couldn't even walk. I'm like,
freeze your water bottle and run your rub your foot over top of the water bottle. Just freeze it, ice, and that'll help. That'll help it out.
Plantar fasciitis.
There you go.
Plantar fasciitis. Bro.
Oh my God.
Well, hey, would you rather have plantar fasciitis or gout? Oh, give me plantar fasciitis all day.
Yeah, I already have
fasciitis over gout.
I've been having plantar fasciitis since
college. Either one. I don't know which one of them I want. Neither. I'll take neither.
I've had plantar fasciitis since we was in college playing ball.
You can't walk sometimes?
It's not as bad now as it used to be, but there was times that I got up in the morning and that first step I almost crumbled. So I used to have to get special orthotics and stuff when I was in school playing and everything. So now I still use different type of insoles and stuff in my shoes.
I'm cool on that.
Man, I got now y'all gonna hear me going around telling people I got plantar fasciitis. I got diagnosed by Reams tonight.
I was about to
say it to anybody. I'm going with it too, man. I got plantar. That's an excuse. Oh my God, I'm never going anywhere to anything else ever again. Anybody invites me to something,
I see you some stretches to do.
I got plantar fasciitis. I can't make it. I got plantar fasciitis. That's all he used to say. I got.
You don't know what you have, man. Let me say for me, I don't really have one, but this past weekend I had to make a trip up to Cleveland, Lorraine, with the missus, and it was almost like a family reunion. And the thing for me is just getting back with family. It's always interesting to see sort of the ebbs and flows, how family dynamics work. And sometimes family is just so cool to be around with each other, and then you have those moments or those individuals where it's like the same thing that make you laugh can make you cry sort of deal, or you had those one individuals that can get on your nerves or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, they family. So it's always cool, I say, to just to have family in general, whether it's good or bad, because it's it's one of those
one
things.
of your family members got on your nerves or something?
You said, did I?
Yeah, did one of your family members get on your nerves?
No, I was actually with Meek's family, but no, I do. Oh, I definitely have some family members that get on your nerves. That's my whole thing. Even with those people, you tolerate to a whole nother level with family.
Though, man. Yeah, how do you do it, bro? When your family
how do you tolerate family?
Well, not tolerate family, but tolerate family to just don't do right, man.
Well, that's subjective. They may say that you don't do right.
That's true. It's all subjective.
Family. That's the whole thing to mine. That is family at the end of the day. So you have to learn how to manage them, because it's at the end of the day, it's family.
And I think that's my problem. The only family that I got a problem with is family that say I don't do right.
Why?
They're saying it for their own measured reasons. Like they're saying it for something that they feel like didn't go their way, something that they feel like, hey, I could have did better at or something. I don't know, but anytime they express that, now me and you, now I'm tired of you.
But yeah,
why do they say you don't do right though? I still don't understand
that. Well, this is something that I've been thinking about, man. I think that now we got a generation of kids who think differently. Like me, I would never blame my parent for anything. I would never feel like my parent is the reason for anything right now that's happening to me. But I think the kids do that, and they got all of these different ways that they think now, where they talk about like journaling. They look in their past a lot. They figure out different ways to express themselves. They look for reasons as to why they are the way they are. And I think that a lot of times they kind of start looking at parents being deficient. According to them, the parent could have just so for example, let's say you whoop your kid. The kid say, hey, you whoop me. But you say, oh, I was teaching you right from wrong. That's how I learned. Both things are true to them, but it's like the intent. You have to look at the intent. And I don't think that all the time people get see the whole picture, so that's why I think that.
So it's a difference in this generation. I think this is something that we probably should dive into a podcast and having a full conversation about that, because it goes into the thing about within sports too. Like we had before, where we had some comments in our section that talked about young players being entitled and spoiled and all that type of stuff. And I think it is a lot of stuff that goes into this generation, from the whole thing of from mental health to all that type of stuff that they try to, that a lot of times is viewed upon the older. They're taking upon things and taking control of things to understand and talk about mental health, this and that. But to some of us, in a lot of situations, they don't do nothing but make excuses for what they don't do and what they not trying to do, and then they blame it on mental health. So I think it's a conversation that I think we should delve into, like I said, even with it leading off of sports and athletes in this younger generation, and have a full-fledged conversation about that on one of the next episodes.
I agree 100%.
So
Let's do it.
All right, Cuzzo, so take us on out.
All right, everybody, please like, subscribe, ring the bell notification so you can get alerted. Man, we want to give a shout out to everybody that commented today. Big Chef came through. Shawnee Mack, of course, Will B. Dad popped up, who is L. Gilbert. Man, it was good to see Chef and nephew. Young TA popped in for a second. But everybody like, subscribe, ring the bell notification so you can get alerted. And man, we will see y'all. What we gonna do? Tuesday, Thursday?
Tuesday's tomorrow.
Thursday. Tuesday tomorrow.
Thursday. Yeah, Tuesday be tomorrow. So go Thursday. All right, everybody. We'll see y'all Thursday.
All right. Peace.
Later.